Alright, what's up, guys? It's Devon back. I'm going to be doing a little core plays video after, getting more data in and seeing like what ownership projections are going to be like. I mean, obviously, they're going to change as we go further into the week, but, let them kind of simmer for the last 2 days since the pricing's been released and seeing how things have changed a little bit, and we can look at that. I like I like there's two guys that I really like that there are concerns about, whether that is course history or injury concern. And then one of the guys I really like is one of the top dogs and is the lowest owned of the three currently. So we'll jump right into Jon Rahm. I like Jon Rahm this week. He had to pull out of the Players because he almost pooped his pants, which is fine. Everybody has that. Maybe he just had a bad meal and just felt like he couldn't get back out there to and hold hold a shit in for 18 holes. But yeah, I mean, what Jon Rahm has been doing is just wild. And the Arnold Palmer was I want to say outlier for what we've been seeing for Jon Rahm. And we don't have data on Fantasy National from the match play. He had a tough group. I mean, he had Keith Mitchell, Ricky Fowler, and Billy Horschel. Billy is just typically really good in match play, has won it, has been a runner-up. So, and then Ricky was hot coming into the match play. Keith Mitchell was also hot, was also someone that was in a final group with Jon Rahm and competed with him on a Sunday. I mean, competed. Keith Mitchell was the one guy that was out of that group. But, yeah, what Jon Rahm's been doing is just absolutely crazy. I mean, he's won 3 times since January. His strokes gain numbers are just miles above everybody. And I think he has the game to get it done. Minus, like I said, this is just such an outlier. Losing 7 strokes off the tee is such an outlier for Jon Rahm. He's normally a really good driver of the ball. I like what he's been doing putting wise. His approach play has been really good, and he's a decent, I mean, if not top tier around the green player. Looking at his Masters history, in his debut in 2017, got a 27th place finish. In 2018, 4th place. 2019, 9th place. 2020, 7th place. 2021, 5th place. And then last year, 27th place. But this stretch of golf that Jon Rahm is on, there's no reason why, he won't be at the top of the leaderboard on Sunday at Augusta. I really like him, considering he is right now the lowest owned of between him, Scotty Scheffler, and Rory McIlroy. I really like him. I like where his game's at. So Jon Rahm is going to be a core play of mine. And then moving on, we've got another guy I really like and who is knocking on the door of those 3 players with the way he's been playing. And I said in the last video what was worrisome was his course history, because he's missed 2 cuts and he's had a 48th place finish. Max Homa at 9,200. I mean, you can see it here. He's in strokes gained total over the last 24 rounds. He's number 1. Tee to green, he's 7th. His short game is really good. Really good on approach. Around the green is pretty elite, and his putter has been absolutely lights out. So looking at Max Homa and what he's done recently, I mean, also just really good. He's been really consistent. I mean, he hasn't missed a cut since July last year at the Open. But since then, I mean, he won it at the Fortinet in September, and then he's just kind of rocketed up, and he's on everybody's radar now. I mean, third at the Century Tournament Champions, won the Farmers, 39th at Phoenix, second at Genesis where he dueled Rahm, 14th at Arnold Palmer, losing strokes putting too, and 6th at the Players. This is Max's fourth time around Augusta. He is, I'm assuming he's there just like everybody else practicing. He's probably got, rounds in before match play. He's been probably there all week. He's going to be there all week this week leading into the tournament. So his approach play has been just top notch. I mean, if not the best in this field. He's got great touch around the greens. His putter, I mean, look at what his putter can do. His putter can just go absolutely nuclear. And off the tee has been, back and forth, but pretty damn good. And he can kind of get away with not the best off the tee. But I like Homa. His ownership is kind of showing that right now. So I didn't really talk about Jon Rahm's ownership, but right now it's being calculated that he's going to be around 18.5%. Scotty Scheffler around 21%, and Rory McIlroy around 20%. And then Homa in this 9K range, another guy that doesn't show up, that hasn't shown up at majors is Patrick Cantlay. These two look like they're going to be the lowest owned in this range. At Homa at 12.5%, and Patrick Cantlay at 12.7%. I think it's a different Max Homa, and this is probably the cheapest we've seen him in a while. I could see him getting it done. He's just a different player than what he's been in years previous. So I really like Max Homa this week. I like everything he's doing, and it seems like he could don the green jacket on Sunday. So I am all about Max Homa. The next guy is an injury concern. Has great course history the last two times he's been here at Augusta. And that's Will Zalatoris at 8,200. The concern, like I said, is the injury. Ended up withdrawing at the match play. Didn't win his first two matches anyway. So it said injury, but it could have just been. It just could have been. I'm not gonna win. I don't feel like I can win, and there's no point. So let's just move on. So he's probably got his practice in at Augusta as well. Before the match play at the Players and Arnold Palmer, not too good. But he had a 4th place finish at Genesis. He missed the cut at Farmers, 53rd at API, 73rd at the Players. But Will seems to have something figured out here at the Masters. As you can see, the 2nd place finish in 2021 and 6th place finish last year. The fact that I think mainly for me is the ownership pivot, because if you look at Will and where he's at, who he's got around him. So Burns is going to be the lowest, or Burns and Fitzpatrick are going to be the lowest owned in the AK range, but Will Zalatoris is right behind them. Sungjae is going to soak up a lot of ownership at 8,100. Hideki probably going to get a little bit more now that he got 4 rounds in at the Valero. Didn't have the best finish, but he had a great 3rd round. I saw that. Victor seems like he's kind of getting steamed up. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam Young gets a little bit more ownership, just because he seems to contend at these big events. Jason Day, the rocket ship that Jason Day is on, he's going to have higher ownership. And Tony Finau is also just going to be really popular, 8,900. So Will being at 10% ownership, I'll take that. I'll take that over Sungjae at 81. I'll take that over Victor at 15, Jason Day at 15, Tony at 20. He's got the history. He's got something figured out around here. So I really like Will. Zalatoris. I think I'm going to be building my lineups around Rom, Homa, and Zalatoris for this week. Yeah, I mean, it's just that simple. It is kind of sketchy, but I like kind of being sketchy when people don't like it. So, yeah, so that'll be my core plays for this week. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Maybe get you guys looking at those guys, and we'll have some more content coming up.